Geometry Chapter 6, Section 4, we're looking at the triangle midsegment. And so if I just had a basic triangle, I'll just pick that right triangle there. And I went through and found all of the midpoints. And so I created this little guy right here. We would know that that segment would be congruent to that one, that this segment would be congruent to this one, and that this segment would be congruent to this one. So let's call that ABC. And then we've got D, E, F. And so we could go through and list all of those. AE would be congruent to EB. EB, AD would be congruent to DC. And CF would be congruent to FB. But I just want to draw those on there and show you that. And so that leads me into one of our first theorems. And so if I take that same type of drawing, and I'm going to not have the third one this time, if I connect those midsegments, it actually creates parallel sides. DE would be parallel to CB. And so an interesting little feature of the midsegment is that it creates those two opposite parallel sides, which again still makes this congruent to this, and then AE is congruent to EB. What it also does is it takes our center midsegment, which is DE, and it tells us that it is half of the longest one. So DE is equal to 1/2 of CB. Or if you wanted to write that a different way, 2DE would equal CB. Again, just depending on how you like it. If you want to use the fraction or the whole number, it doesn't make any difference. And so where I could use this is, let's say, let me pull one out of the book here. Well, let's just use kind of some I'm trying to find a good one. Okay, so let's say that DE is equal to 3y plus 8. Oop. So DE is equal to 3y plus 8. Okay, and then CB is going to be equal to 2y plus 24. Okay, and so I would want you to solve for y here and find the length of both of those segments. So again, depending on how you want to do it, I like the whole number. So I'm going to go 2 times DE, which is 3y plus 8, equals CB, which is 2y plus 24. There we go. And so do a little distributed property here. That's going to give me 6y plus 16 equals 2y plus 24. Get a little space here. I'm going to subtract the 2y. I'm going to do 2 steps in one here just to speed the process up just a little bit. Because I'm bringing the 2y's over here, then I want to take the 16 over there. So that cancels, that cancels. It gives me 4y equals 24 minus 16, which is going to be 8. And so y equals 2. Now I would sub that back in. So I've got 3 times 2 plus 8, which gives me 6 plus 8 is 14. Now, if that's half of CB, then CB needs to come out to be 28. So we've got 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 24, which gives me 28. So my theorem holds true, and I am a math magician. So that's a pretty short one, just a little over 6 minutes. We've got Triangle Midsegment, Chapter 6, Section 4.